The purpose of this short video is to explain the answers that you should have calculated in the income statement worksheet that I produced. Ensure that you've checked your answers on the BeeBusinessBee website, and here I'll go into more detail on how you should have calculated the answers to hopefully spot if you made any mistakes. For question 1, you were asked to obviously make a change to the income statement, and as you can see you had to change the closing inventories from 40,000 to 42,000. So then you had to use the calculation that I've taught you, which is opening inventories plus the purchases, take away your closing inventories, which then would give you £288,000 in total. Then using the formula that you should know by now to calculate gross profit, revenue minus cost of sales, you should have £600,000 in revenue minus the £288,000 of cost of sales that you calculated, which would give you an overall gross profit of £312,000. Now yes, there is an easier way to calculate that, and some of you may spot that, and some of you may have done that already. However, I want you to try and understand it by using the correct formula. In question 2, you were required to carry out more changes. For example, you had to adjust the wages because B had actually paid an employee in advance. So actually you'd only got £79,500 to pay out on this income statement. The electricity cost had actually increased from £40,000 to £40,100, and you had to calculate depreciation, and you should be aware of how to do that using the reducing balance method. You actually have to understand these methods to be able to calculate them. That's why I practice so much with you and stress them to you. So you need to make sure that you took your initial cost of the van, which was £15,000, take away any depreciation you paid at the moment, which obviously was £10,000, and that left you with £5,000. You then were told that it was a 10% rate, so you need to take that £5,000 remaining, multiply it by the 10%, which would then give you £500 worth of depreciation to take away. That would leave you the formula to do where you have to add up the £79,500, the £40,100, the £100,000 of other expenses, plus that £500 of depreciation you calculated, which would give you £220,000, and so £220,100. Then you would need to use a simple formula like the before, so gross profit, take away all your expenses you calculated there to work out your net. So that would be £310,000 of gross profit previously minus £220,100, which would give you an overall net profit of £91,900. That is how you would calculate that answer correctly. Question 3 was fairly straightforward if you'd succeeded with question 2. It was all about the process of understanding depreciation, but the net book value means, in other words, what is the van going to now be worth when it comes to recording that as an asset. And of course it was worth £5,000. We've now accounted for £500 worth of cost, so actually the new value of that van is £4,500. Really simple. In question 4, it was a fairly straightforward question. You were asked to try and calculate the gross profit. For this, you need to go back to that formula that I'm trying to get you to use all the time. Open your inventories plus your purchases, take away your closing inventory. So that was going to be a simple one of £50,000 plus £550,000. Take away your £20,000, which would give you £580,000. Then using the formula that you should know by now, revenue minus cost of sales, it would be £800,000 of sales revenue, subtracted the £580,000, which give you £220,000 gross profit overall. Now in question 5, you're asked to make some changes to this. Now one of the changes was going to be the one where B actually purchased more stock. So you had to change the £550,000 to £610,000. What that did was, as a result, is just going to change the formula. So as you can see up there, you had to change it. So opening inventories, you got your £50,000 plus your purchases, which now became £610,000 minus the £20,000, which would give you £640,000. Then you need to use that formula, revenue minus cost of sales. So it was going to be then your £800,000, take away your £640,000, and that would leave you with £160,000 gross profit. Fairly straightforward. Question 6 required some more changes to be made. So B still owed £5,000 up to the electricity company, so you had to amend that to make it £45,000 rather than £40,000. The wages, he actually forgot to pay a member of staff, so he had to pay that member of staff, so that should have gone up to £82,000. And the car was going to be depreciated using the reducing balance method at 20%. So same principle before, only this time the car was going to cost £25,000. He's already paid £5,000 of depreciation. That leaves £20,000 to be depreciated. £20,000 times by 20% means that it's a £4,000 cost to the business. Of course, we add all those up down below. As you can see there, 82,000, 45,000, 70,000 other expenses, plus the 4,000 cost of depreciation. That gives us £201,000. Then we need to take away our gross profit that we previously calculated, which is £160,000. Take away our £201,000 of other costs, and that gives us a loss, as you can see there in brackets, of £41,000. That's how we calculate that. Lastly, again, question 7 would be really simple if you could tackle question 6 with the depreciation part. What is now the net book value of the car? Well, the net book value of the car is going to be £20,000 minus the £4,000 that we calculate the cost, which means that we're going to record the value of that car at £16,000. And that is how you should have calculated the questions. Hopefully that's explained where the numbers have come from. If you're still confused, the best thing you can do is go back through, try those worksheet questions again until you get them right. Don't be afraid to keep practicing and try and work out where you're going wrong. If it's a case that you don't know your formulas, you've got to learn them. That's probably where you're going wrong in some ways, that you can't remember your formulas. Practice learning your formulas. It makes these questions really simple to tackle. Thanks for checking out the BeeBusinessBee YouTube channel. Don't forget to click the subscribe button down below to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's at BeeBusinessBee. Also, give the Facebook page a like. It's facebook.com/BeeBusinessBee. And lastly, don't forget to check out the online hive of activities found on BeeBusinessBee.co.uk, full of quizzes, activities and resources. And remember, until next time, keep buzzing.